when a group of students from the newly founded Fisk University of Nashville, Tennessee, began to tour in an effort to raise money for the fiscally strapped school. The Fisk Jubilee Singers not only carried spirituals to parts of the United States that had previously never heard Negro folk songs. The musically trained chorus performed before royalty during their tours of Europe in the 1870s. The success of the Fisk Jubilee Singers encouraged other Black colleges to form touring groups as well. It became the tradition of HBCU choirs to spend their spring break traveling around the country, performing and raising money for their schools. The revitalization of the Negro spiritual was not exclusive to choirs, however. Some of the arrangements you are hearing tonight, though traditional, are a product of the work of amazing and accomplished Black composers such as Harry T. Burleigh. Burleigh was a classically trained musician and composer who took the music he grew up hearing his grandfather sing and wrote them in art song form, specifically to be performed by trained singers. Spiritual settings became very popular with concert performers and recording artists, both Black and white. It was soon common for recitals and choral concerts to end with a group of spirituals. I am a product of Bennett College, an HBCU who also participated in the tradition of spring break fundraising tours. It was at Bennett that I fell in love with the Negro spirituals. It was inevitable that I too composed arrangements of my own. At this time, I would like to invite the Bennett College Choir to join me. This evening, the Bennett College Choir and I will perform 3 spiritual arrangements. The first is I Know I've Been Changed, arranged by Roy Belfield. We will follow that with 2 arrangements of my own, Obey the Spirit of the Lord and Sit Down Servant. And at the conclusion of Sit Down Servant, we will take another brief pause before I present the final segment of this recital. gonna shout when the Spirit's to shout. And the winds will time I feel the Spirit's I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do. And obey the Spirit of the Lord. I'm gonna move, sing, dance, shout, 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 and obey the Spirit of the Lord. black slaves sang as a response to the conditions of slavery. African Americans have used music and song to comment on their circumstances and to resist oppression. During the 1950s and 1960s, as African Americans struggled to win their civil rights, singing was an important part of the move. It was not uncommon to hear songs like these ring out. Someone would start and everyone would join in. And tonight, in such the same spirit, I invite you to do the same with me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, getting ready, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. We've got the light of freedom. We've got the light of freedom. We're gonna let it shine. We're gonna let it shine. Oh, we've got the light of freedom. And we're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of freedom. And we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Songs like these gave hope and courage to men and women who were risking their lives for the cause of their own civil rights and civil liberties. Bennett Bells were no stranger to that fight because leadership and social activism have always been part of student life here. Bennett Bells joined in solidarity with the 4 North Carolina A&T State University students who sat down at a Woolworth's lunch counter to protest discrimination. Bells picketed and were thrown in jail so much that President Willoughby Blair took their schoolwork down to the jailhouse so they wouldn't get behind in their studies. She has been quoted to have said, "If I have to hand out diplomas in jail, I will." So yes, you may have heard them sing, "If you miss me at the back of the bus and you can't find me nowhere, come on up to the front of the bus, 'cause I'll be sitting right there. I'll be sitting right there. I'll be sitting right there. Come on up to the front of the bus, and I'll be sitting right there. If you miss me on the picket line, you can't find me nowhere, come on down to the jailhouse, 'cause I'll be sitting right there. I'll be sitting right there. I'll be sitting right there. Come on down to the jailhouse, 'cause I'll be sitting right there." The struggle was real and the fight took courage. So yes, they would sing, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I've gotta keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no fire hose turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no fire hose walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no police dogs turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no police dogs turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. This fight not only took courage, but it took solidarity. It took a community of people coming together and showing that they knew that one day they would overcome. And so in solidarity, you would see, if you, those of you who may have been there and those who have seen pictures of the times when they are on the picket lines or when people are out and standing and trying to show their strength, there is a way that they did that. And what I want us to do tonight is I'm going to ask you to stand in just a moment. And you're going to have to get really close together, because the idea of the solidarity is that we came together and it was extremely close. So if somebody tried to break through, they could not, because you're tight and you're holding together. So you're going to stand and you're going to cross your arms over each other this way. Not holding hands this way. You're going to cross your hands over your chest and over yourself and take the hand of the person next to you. So I'm going to ask that you stand and do that with me now. You got to get close. You have to be shoulder to shoulder in order for it to work. So just do it on your row. So just do it on your row. You have to be shoulder to shoulder. So if there's nobody else, you can go join another row. It's fine. You'll cross your arms over. And together we sing, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. God is on our side. God is on our side. God is on our side. God is on our side today. Today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe God is on our side. God is on our side today. Today. Thank you. Have a seat. Music was one of the many ways Africans, forced into a new land and stripped of their identity, created a culture of their own. They were able to hold on to their African roots while blending their new American experience. Although oppressed and subjugated throughout American history, African Americans used music as a form of protest and reclaiming their identity, creating their own cultural heritage through music as oppressed, as opposed to conforming to the culture that was forced upon them. Even today, as we face many of the same stigmas that have been faced by our people for hundreds of years, we continue to voice our distress, our distrust, our disgust, and disheartenment through song. I would like to close out tonight's program with a poem I wrote inspired by the Negro spiritual and how it reflects the continued struggle of the Black American, singing in a strange land. Sorrow, pain, misery, and woe. We hear the cries of our people from a time not so long ago. They tell us that it's over and we should just let it be. But yet, they continue to block our liberty. We hear the cries of our people like the cage bird who yearns so much to sing, their souls crying out to let freedom ring. They ripped us from our homeland and tried to strip our identity. But our roots are strong, and their attempts gave fire to our creativity. They forced us into the field, and we sang as we sweat all day. But our songs carried a message that only we could convey. When at last our freedom came, and we thought our work was done, they knocked us down, and we found ourselves staring down the barrel of their guns. But hear me today as I say this loud and clear. We are the victors, and we will not live in fear. We can't be silent. We won't be hushed. We will not conform. Our spirits shall not be crushed. They will not win. They have not won, because the voice of the slave will forever sing on. And before I be a slave, I